Ho, hey, I will. Aho, shinawana honata. Aho, shinawana he. Happy Taco Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Aho. And I missed you guys. I haven't been on since last week sometime. I've been preparing to leave town, heading to Sedona, Cave Creek, Black Canyon City, uh, New River, and All Points, Arizona. And glad to be here. And happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope everybody survived the fall equinox change from the vernal equinox to the fall equinox. I hope. And what does that mean for you? You know, it means lots of things. Already the trees are starting to turn color. The leaves are starting to fall off. The harvest is coming in. The grasses are being cut. The corn is being gathered in the fields. I'm picking up acorns everywhere. And for me, the symbolic of symbolism and the acorn are symbolic of dying of in and of oneself and letting go of all those things that we've been carrying as burdens for a lifetime, half a lifetime, 5 minutes, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, however long it's been that you've been carrying the burdens of others or the burdens of teachings and an upbringing that wasn't so great, and you're suffering under the lash of not being able to get to a certain point in your life, and we don't want to blame. Certainly don't want to blame, but what we want to do, we want to be able to come into our understanding and our awareness of how those things made us feel. Whether we were hurt, whether we were angry, whether we were felt self-pity, self-loathing, whether we were self-seeking, whether we were unaware of our own feelings at all and only aware of other people's. There's people out there that like to say, well, I'm an empath. I take on everybody's stuff. No, we're all empaths, and we're all empaths in our own way. Stop putting words in your mouth that are somebody else's. Don't parrot what other people say because it's misinformation. We are all empaths, and we all have our own ways of taking or releasing energies and working with energies or not working with energies, whatever the case may be. So be careful who you listen to. Be careful who your teachers are, or be careful who your teachers pretend to be or what they pretend to be. Because most times in a place like Los Angeles, I'm from LA, they're not. Or they go off to another place like to a Sedona or a Mount Shasta, or they pretend to be gurus and they're passing along bad medicine or medicine that doesn't work for people, and it becomes about something else. It becomes about money and other things. It should be about the medicine. It should be about the healing. It should be about what it is that I can do for you, really. And I always tell my clients, there's nothing that I want from you, but I want everything for you. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. What can I do for you? Now, there's always going to be an exchange of energies. That's the nature of the work sometimes. So, and we'll walk away from that. But we want to talk about the acorn. And I'm going to grab one so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, these are the acorns that fall off of the mighty oak trees in California, whether you're up in Northern Cal or you're Central Cal or a Southern Cal, or you're here in LA area. The acorn falls off from the tree in the green state. It falls off green, but the acorn will not grow into the mighty oak from the green state. The acorn has to die in and of itself. It has to die. It has to let go of itself to become the tree, just like the caterpillar has to let go of being a worm-like bug and let go in the cocoon, in the chrysalis, so it can sprout and grow its wings and take a different form and take flight. Aho. It's no longer grounded. Now it's a spiritual being. It takes flight. Aho. It lives up here. Well, the oak tree, once it grows, it lives up here. It's grounded, it's rooted, and it's fruited like I am. I always say I'm rooted and fruited, and the birds of the air nest in my branches and eat of my fruit. And what is my fruit? My fruit is the experience that I share with everybody of how I got from point A to point B. And that's it. And that's all. You guys hear me tell my stories all the time. So it's the time of autumn, fall. It's a time of the abundance, of the gathering of the harvest. Remember, we have to let go and empty the cup to refill the cup. So allow yourself to empty your cup. Allow yourself to let it go. What are those things that you've been carrying around that are burdens for you? You know, your animosity towards a brother or a sister or a parent or a friend. You know, a friend hurt your feelings and you've been walking around butt hurt for a long time. Either let it go or kick rocks. What are you going to do? You can't walk around like that forever. I tried that. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. So I had to manifest a whole new way of life, a whole new way of being, a whole new way of doing, a whole new way of receiving. And I had to come from a place in my receiving of compassion when I wanted to judge somebody for the way they weren't able to give to me because they should give to me in a certain way. No. A body only has the capacity to give what it can give the way it gives. Sometimes it doesn't know any better. Sometimes it can't do any better. And sometimes we got to let them off our hook. There's a prayer that they use in Alcoholics Anonymous, the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to expect the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I've been sober 27 years, and for 27 years, I pray it like this. God, grant me the serenity to expect the things I cannot change. Not accept, expect the things I cannot change. Because sometimes people are going to let me down. It's not always going to be my way, and I have to be expecting of that so I can be accepting of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't be, as my friend Christy says, in my lizard about it and be in my negativity and be, and judging you and you're not this and I'm not that. No, aren't you tired of that? Don't you get sick and tired of being the lizard? I got one down the hall here. He's always in a negative state, but that's none of my business. I see it. I hear it. I play Pontius Pilate and I wash my hands of it. It's none of my business, right? Right. So, when I do ceremony, and I do fire ceremony a lot in the fall, especially in the new moon and the full moon, when I have somebody write their intentions down of letting go and receiving, and they put the intentions of letting go in the fire. I have them put it in the fire, offer tobacco first, and then offer their intentions of letting go. And then I have them take with their left hand, the hand of receiving, one of these acorns and transfer it to the right hand. Transfer it to the right hand so they can carry it with them. And they have an example of to remind them of what has to happen for them to grow. Now, these aren't just ordinary acorns. These acorns, as I'm walking, wherever I'm hiking or walking, I'm picking them up with my left hand. And as I pick them up with my left hand, I keep them in my left hand and I take my right hand, and in my left hand, I'm receiving the energy of the air, of the earth, of the water, of the sun, of the birds, of the sky, of the moon, and all the elements that are out there that go into these seeds. Right. And even the energies of the people who move around the trees and the animals who move around the trees are in these seeds. And I hold them in my left hand and I receive them. And with my right hand, as I'm walking and hiking, I take my right hand and I place it over my heart. And I allow the energies that are entering my left hand and going up my arm and across my shoulders into my right arm, and down my right arm and up my forearm, past my wrist and into my hand to flow into my heart, that my heart would be filled with the energies of the sun, the air, the water and the earth and the tree, the grandmother tree, the magnificent selfless tree, and the squirrels and the storks and the crows and the hawks and the owls and the sky and the grass and the bushes, and all those things go into this hand and into this heart. And then I will give these to you as we move along in the fall time, during the time of abundance, during the time of Thanksgiving, moving towards the time of winter, the time of rest, the time of the den, the time of wisdom, the time of rest, winter, earth, winter. Aho. So prepare, gather your abundance, let go of what you have to let go of, and gather your abundance, and allow yourself to be filled with the goodness of the energies in the world, the energies of the world that don't judge you and accept you for exactly the way you are, because the way you are is beautiful. Right, Christy? I see Christy out there floating around in my vision with everybody who's watching. And I love when she logs on, because Christy's a beautiful and great teacher from Kentucky. And if you guys don't know who she is, I'll post her information and you can check her out. Also, please share my videos, because I've been in Facebook jail for probably almost 3 weeks, and I'm coming out of jail on the 25th, 26th. And as soon as they let me out of jail, there was stuff in the queue that hadn't been released to all the groups that I released, and it all got released, and then they put me back in jail. So it wasn't my fault. It was just the way Facebook does things. My hands are tied. Anyways, so I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to sing Io Nana Oi, because I will love you, my child. Love your child, not just your children, not just your children's children, your grandchildren, but love the child that you are within. Love the child that you want to integrate with the adult, with the woman, with the man. Aho. Love that child. Nurture the nature of your child and be one with them. Aho, 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 aho. shinawana honata. Aho shinawana e. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bending and lending your ear. Thank you for not just listening with your ears, to hear, but your ears to hear in the space of your heart, in your space of your knowing, in the space where our lungs are, our heart is. I love, I'm loved. I don't have the capacity to love. But if you have the capacity to love and be compassionate for yourself, learn to listen from this place and not from this place. Aho, aho, aho. I want to remind everybody, not everybody knows this. I posted a GoFundMe page on Facebook and on Instagram yesterday. And my goal is to raise $5,000. I'm going to take some time off of my healing practice, a couple of months actually. And $5,000 isn't a lot of money, but the money's going to pay for the recording and the production of an album I'm going to be doing with all the songs that I sing. I'm going to be recording all of them. There's probably about 12 to 15 songs altogether. They're going to go on a CD, and you're going to be able to have download versions of them through iTunes and all of those places that you can get them from, or Amazon, or wherever it is. And I'm also going to be writing a book, and the book is called Transformation of a Walking Crow, and it's not a book on how to. There's a lot of books on how to. This is just a book on the stories that I share, the walks that I've been through, and how I did what I did to get to point B, how to become the selfless tree that I became. Not the selfless tree that you're going to become, but the selfless tree that I became, so I can be who I am, say things the way that I say them, and allow myself not to apologize for who I am or who I've been. No more excuse me's or I'm sorry's, but I need to apologize. No, there's none more of that. There's no reason for that anymore. So that's what this book is going to be about. My plan is to publish the book and to release the recordings in the spring equinox, which is, I believe, on the 18th or the 20th of March. That's not very long ways away. So I have a lot of work to do. And a lot of my work is going to be done in Arizona, surrounded by people who support me, by people who care about me, by people who love me and nurture me the way that I am, nurture who I am, and care about me as Walking Crow, not who I used to be. Aho, aho. So if you're so inclined, if you would like to donate $1, if you would like to donate $5, $10, $100, $1,000, I don't care. I'm not asking for, I'm not begging for money. Whether I meet my goal or not doesn't matter. What matters is I was able to ask you and say, support me, because all of you know that I support you. And that's not why I'm asking you to support me. I'm asking you to support me because you like the work that I do. Aho, aho. All right. And I want to keep doing it. And I want to be able to give it to the world in a bigger way, in a different way that's more accessible to the world, to their ears, to their hearts, to their the elements of their body, so they can connect to their emotional state and come out of what my friend Christy calls the lizard. There's no reason to live in the lizard. Aho. Aho. Anyways, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, asking you to have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Chuesday, Taco Tuesday. And I will post the link for that GoFundMe page on with this video. All right. You guys have a beautiful evening, and I look forward to seeing you again.